Hello, so I wanted to get on here and talk about something that I haven't been finding a lot of information on online. And this is my personal opinion. You take whatever you want from it, whatever you feel fits for you. But this is regarding women specifically, females that undergo their menstrual cycles and their menstruation and the phases of the moon. I believe that depending on the day that you start your menstruation cycle is also what your body is trying to tell you, especially as a woman. We hold a lot of wisdom in our womb, in our uterus. We hold a lot of wisdom and a lot of intuition there. A lot of messages come from there. So, by you taking note of when you start your period and what phase of the moon is it on that day that you start your flow, you're able to get a little bit more insight into kind of what your body is ready for. There was one time that I forgot the phase of the moon. I don't remember it completely, but there was one time that I got my period on a specific day, and when I looked at the phase of the moon and what it means, it meant that I was ready to let go. I was ready to let go of things that have been holding me back. I was ready to kind of actually surrender and let go of the things that no longer serve me. So that day, later on in the evening, after I read all that information, I did a ritual and I wrote down all the things that I was ready to let go, and I burned it up and gave it to the universe, gave it to Mother Earth. And I felt so much weight come off my shoulders because my body was telling me, like, hey, you've been holding on to this for so long, you're finally ready to let it go. So I wanted to come on here and talk about the different phases. I have some cards here that I got from ZennedOut. I believe the author is Cassie Uhl, and I didn't buy this deck from her. I bought books that came with like free printables, because I ordered it like on the pre-order. So she gave those to me for free as a way of supporting her business. She does have different decks that are pretty cool that someday I would like. So if anybody wants to give them to me, I'm not opposed. But yeah, like the ritual deck, she has like a goddess version 1, a goddess version 2 that talk about the chakras and the energies and spiritual awakening, as well as like magic and nature and stuff like that. So if you're totally interested, she has wonderful stuff. And she also has great stuff on her page and a great blog that talks about different topics as well if you want to look into it. But I just wanted to come here and talk about the different phases of the moon. And if you are a female, you identify as a female, you have a period, you have a menstruation cycle, how that can give you insight into what your body's trying to tell you that you're ready for or not ready for. So let's go ahead and start. So the first phase that I'm going to go over is the new moon. So whenever you have your period and it falls on the new moon, your body is ready for new beginnings, for being openness, and for hope. So at this time, you're ready to manifest whatever it is like a thousandfold. Because even though the new moon always has that energy of new beginnings, whenever your period falls on that same day, your body's telling you, like, yo, individual, you are ready. Like, you need to set this time and this intention during this new moon, especially now, because your body's like, I'm in tune with the new moon. It's time for you to take advantage of the energy from that new moon and utilize it for your new beginnings, for manifestation, for being open and hope. So whenever there's a new moon, something that you can do is sit together or sit alone for 5 minutes. Think about what changes, gifts, or manifestations you like to bring into your life. And if you're lost about what it is that you want to bring into your life, just ask for guidance from the universe and be open to what it has to tell you. So right now, whenever, again, you get your period and it falls on a new moon, you need to like kind of meditate for like 5 minutes, ground yourself, and then make a list of things that you want to manifest. Make a list of things that you want to start into your life. And ask for guidance, if anything, if you need some help. Sometimes just let go of expectation, though. Just because you're like, oh, universe, what should I do? You may not get an answer right away. You may not get an answer the next half hour. Maybe it'll come as a sign. Maybe it'll come as something that appears up in your dream. But either way, just be open to whatever you need to change, whatever you need to add whenever you want to manifest into your life. So if you have a period, your menstruation starts on a new moon, it means that you're ready to manifest. You're ready for new beginnings. Like your body's like, yo, do this. Alrighty. So now next would be the waxing crescent moon. This would be the next one. So if your menstruation, if your flow starts on a day where it's a waxing crescent moon, sorry for my accent, English is my second language, waxing crescent moon, it's time for you to cleanse. It's time for you to set intentions and declare. So at this time, it's also about goals and manifestation, but it's more of like a cleansing. So the new moon was for like a new beginning that you're going to manifest into your life. This is for you to kind of cleanse yourself and set intentions and declare that you are going to cleanse. You're going to let go of the things that no longer serve you. Here it says, create a list of 3 goals or 3 manifestations that you would like to realize yourself. Speak your list out loud. Put your list somewhere visible so you can see it and be reminded of it. And you need to cleanse your space with sage or palo santo. So for this one, it's similar-ish because it is right after the new moon. So you're still able to kind of manifest, create goals, but you also need to cleanse. You definitely need to let go of things that are still holding you back and no longer serve you for the waxing crescent moon. Alrighty, so the next one is going to be the first quarter moon. First quarter. So for the first quarter moon, the themes are focus, momentum, and facing your fears. So it's kind of beautiful too, like whenever you look at these phases back to back, you kind of see the flow, the cycle of this. If anybody here, I'm going on a tangent, so I'm sorry for that, but if anybody here does tarot or does astrology even, because they're very interconnected, you'll be able to notice similar themes, symbolisms, different paths that people are going to go through in life, like the major arcana, like the path of the fool, I believe the journey of the fool, how you see the story behind their spiritual awakening and their transformation. And the same thing goes with the cycles of the moon. The same thing goes with astrology, and you find following the path of the story of astrology. So I just think it's beautiful because in the new moon, you set new beginnings, right? You want to manifest something new. With the waxing crescent moon, you're still having that intention of manifestation and setting goals, but you need to cleanse yourself. And you're preparing yourself to let go of those fears that are really holding you back from those new beginnings, right? So again, the theme for the first quarter moon, so if you have your period and it falls on the first quarter moon, you need to focus, you need to have momentum, and you need to face your fears. So choose one goal or manifestation that you're focusing on. Commit to taking action into that one goal towards making it a reality in the next 24 hours. So you need to do something about it. So there's something that you've been holding back, maybe something that you've been indecisive about. And when it's the first quarter moon, it's like, okay, stop wasting your time. It's time for you to pick one goal that you want to realize and then just do something about it in the next 24 hours. Let's say 48, next 24 to 48 hours. Now, something that's optional that you could do as well is tell one trusted soul your action so that way you can be held accountable. Sometimes when we tell people our goals, because we say it out loud, we forget about it. It's like, oh, I already said it. It's already out in the universe, whatever. It'll come back to me. No. Whenever you do this, specifically for the first quarter moon, it's for someone to hold you accountable so that way you can do those actions within that 24 to 48 hour period. So again, first quarter moon, focus, momentum, and facing your fears. You need to choose one goal or manifestation that you're focusing on and commit to doing one thing, one action towards that goal in the next 24 to 48 hours. All right, next type of moon is the waxing gibbous moon. And I'm doing this so that way if you want to go along and like pause the video and just screenshot it, that way you can, and you can kind of have a picture of this as well. But I believe that she has printables that you can download as well, like ZennedOut. another shout out. I think she has printables that you can either pay for like a really low price, like these same ones, or you can buy the ritual deck, or you can just get freebies on her emails if you subscribe to her emails. But anyways, so if your period falls on the waxing gibbous moon, the themes are refine, adapt, and align. So here you need to allow a quiet moment to ask the universe for signs on how you can better align with your intentions. So this is beautiful. So the intentions for the new moon, whatever you're thinking about, whatever, it seems like you need to kind of adapt and align so that way you can actually go through that new beginning in your life. So refine, adapt, align. Allow a quiet moment, ask the universe for signs on how you can better align with your intentions, with what you want. Something that's optional. So if your period falls on the waxing gibbous, something that can give you further insight is using divination tools like oracle cards, tarot, runes, or asking the universe for clearer instructions and moving forward. So if your period falls on the waxing gibbous moon, maybe it's time for you to get a reading. Maybe it's a sign for you to go to your closest tarot reader, maybe going to an astrology site, looking at your horoscope. But being able to get a tarot reading is going to definitely help during this time. So that way you can have somebody else help you. I don't know. So sometimes I do tarot readings for myself. But whenever I truly want clarity, so it's like whenever I do it for myself, it's like, oh, what should I focus on today? Or like, what theme is going on? But I don't like giving myself readings when I want something more in depth, when I want something to kind of help me be clear about XYZ situation, help me move forward in XYZ situation, because I personally am someone that likes to talk, likes to conversate, likes to listen. And sometimes when I'm doing those readings for myself, when they're a little bit more intense, I may overthink what the messages are that are being given to me. So because of that, I personally like going to somebody else and giving them money for their time, their gifts, and them being able to help me and guide me into the answers that I'm seeking, because I feel like I might be a little bit more like biased into what I want to hear. So just to kind of like change that buffer and humble myself and bring somebody else into the equation and talk about it, talk about what I'm feeling, talk about what messages my guides want to say through them to me. Sometimes having somebody else say what you've been thinking, what you needed to hear, is really what's going to kickstart it, especially if someone that's kind of like does not know anything about your situation that you're going through, does not know you at all, as a stranger, or not even a stranger, just like for example, like I've done readings for people that are friends of mine, and obviously everybody has a different story behind closed doors, right? And it's amazing, and they've said it, I've been told this several times, like I know for a fact, they would tell me, I know for a fact I didn't tell you about the situation, so it's crazy that you're telling me XYZ because it completely resonates with what's going on that I haven't told you about. And it's like sometimes we need to hear that, that stuff from someone that might not be completely aware of what's going on with you. So anyways, if you have a waxing gibbous moon, definitely get some insight into how you can align yourself. All right, so then the next one is the full moon. So if your period falls on the full moon, the themes are harvest, celebrate, and gratitude. So for this time, you should write a gratitude list that includes everything you've accomplished over the last 2 weeks. Full moon. So a gratitude list that includes everything you've accomplished over the last 2 weeks. This is a good time for you to be grateful for yourself, for you to celebrate your wins, no matter how big or small. Sometimes we don't take into account the big things. Sometimes we only take into account the big things we accomplish, but we don't take into account the small things. Like, for example, you taking that first step and signing up for a class. You taking that first step and getting a reading done. You taking that first step and going to walk a mile. Sometimes we don't oversee that because that's not where we want to be in life. But it's like the fact that you take a first step is great. It's amazing. You're starting your journey to get somewhere. So take those into consideration too. You can totally celebrate those. So something that's optional is to let the moon's special relationship with water amplify any goals that have not yet come to fruition. Write down intentions that you're still working on. place the paper in a bowl of water under the light of the blue moon. Of the moon. So something else too, though, could be if your period falls on the full moon and it falls on the same day or the day after. If you have lunar water, you could probably also use it for a ritual with this list as well. So definitely take into consideration the beautiful energy from the full moon. I'm going to do this again. Be grateful, celebrate, harvest whatever you want to accomplish. Definitely reflect on what you've been doing and see what else you want to accomplish and want to bring forth, and make a list of those things that you've done in the last 2 weeks. And if you want to write that list and put it in a bowl for the full moon, do it. Or if you already missed the full moon, that's fine too. You can just write the list anyways and maybe just tear it up and then run it through water, run it in a bowl of water, and kind of let it dissolve into the beautiful energy of the moon. All right, so then the one after that, the next phase of the moon is the waning gibbous moon. And the themes for this are to reflect, meditate, and receive. Waning gibbous moon, reflect, meditate, and receive. So if your period falls on the waning gibbous moon, you should meditate for 5 minutes. And before you begin, ask the universe to shed light on your progress or lack of progress with your intentions that you've been setting so far. So, sorry, my legs are a little uncomfortable. So this is totally a time for you to reflect, meditate, and receive any information from your guide. So you've already have goals. You already know where you want to go. You already know your manifestations, what path you want to take in life, what goals you have. But this is a time when, with the waning gibbous moon and your period falls on that, it's a time for you to truly, really reflect on what has been going on and how far you've come or gone. Did you really have progress, or has something been holding you back? And if you have progress, what else can you do to keep moving forward? If you haven't had progress, what is holding you back? So it's kind of like for you to give insight into that so you can bring that into the next stage of your life. So again, waning gibbous moon, the theme is to reflect, meditate, and receive. And you should meditate for 5 minutes. But before you meditate, have the intention and ask the universe to give you any insight in your progress or lack of progress with your intentions. So something that you can do that's optional is take a bath with either frankincense and myrrh, essential oils, to allow extra time for reflection. These scents will help you meditate and better tune into your inner knowledge. Or if you have like an incense stick that's for meditation, you can also light those up as well. All right, so the next lunar phase is the last quarter moon. Last quarter moon, woo woo, we're almost done. This is the second to last card. So for the last quarter moon, the themes are release, surrender, and let go. So choose something to remove from your life that is no longer serving you. A physical object, personality trait, or a relationship. Write it on a piece of paper and burn it in a cauldron or other fireproof vessel. It's time to let go of the things that no longer serve you. So if your period falls on the last quarter moon, your body's telling you like, hey, let go, like for real, let go of all of the things that no longer serve you. Relationship, objects, people, negative energies, negative thoughts, whatever it is, release what's no longer serving you. Which kind of reminds me of the first quarter moon a little bit. Yeah, but it's like the first quarter moon, it's like you have to face your fears and do what you need to do. But the last quarter moon is like, bro, surrender and let it go. Like you need to let go of what's no longer serving you. So something, I'm going to put it up again. So something that's optional that you can do is get in touch with your shadow side by tapping into the energy of the goddess Kali, Kali. Interesting. So sometimes by looking into our shadow self, and looking into our subconscious, our dream states, any messages from your dreams, you'll be able to get more insight into what is really going on in your life. What are you really afraid of? What's really been going on in your head that you're trying to push aside during the daytime? And by getting insight into that, you'll be able to also understand what you actually need to release, surrender, and let go. So, Goddess Kali. My goddess is Belinda. That's who I have. She's the goddess of death. I don't know what culture it's from. I need to do more research on that. I've been failing to do that. If anybody knows, I'm more than welcome to hear that. But again, last quarter moon, release, surrender, let go. All right, and then the last one is the waning crescent moon. So if your period falls on the waning crescent moon, it's time for you to accept, forgive, and allow. So lay down for 5 minutes, mentally scan each part of your body, and take notice of any areas you feel resistance. Be present with any resistance you feel in your body and offer it love. So this is not really like a meditation. Meditation is for you to be aware with what's going on in your body really. What subconsciously have you been holding on to? And something that a lot of people that do yoga and are yogis understand is that our bodies do hold on to a lot of negative energies. Things that we feel like we might have let go, we actually don't. We just store it in our bodies and our muscles, which is why yoga is so wonderful to help you. Like, especially when I'm feeling stressed and down, I love doing yoga, especially for hamstrings and hips, because a lot of that fear, that anxiousness is held in there. And I've cried a couple times because I'm finally able to release those emotions and let them go. So again, waning crescent moon, if your period falls in that phase, it's for you to accept, forgive, and allow. For you to lay down for 5 minutes and mentally scan each part of your body, take notice of any areas you feel resistance, and to be present with any resistance you feel in your body, and offer it love. So energy can never be destroyed, can never be created. It can only be transformed into something different. So if you have negative energies, the waning crescent moon is asking you to take those negative energies that you have, those lower frequency energies, and turn them into love, turn them into positive, turn them into higher frequency energies. Don't let the fear, the anxiety, all of those things, don't let those lower frequency energies kind of overpower you. You are better than that. Mind over matter. You can turn the narrative into something positive. Look at the silver lining. So something that's optional during this time for the waning crescent moon is to carry a piece of rose quartz with you to offer loving support during this sometimes painful process. So rose quartz is a great crystal. I love this crystal. So yeah, during the waning crescent moon, rose quartz, some self-love, so that way you can turn those negative energies into positive energies, any negative thoughts into positive thoughts about yourself. And rose quartz just allows you to have more unconditional love in your life, and for you to accept yourself, accept the situation. Things are accept, forgive, and allow. So it's definitely going to help you with that. So those are the different phases of the moon and what your body is trying to tell you. If your period as a female or as a day and you still have a period and a menstruation cycle, what your body is trying to tell you depending on which phase of the moon your cycle starts. So definitely, I didn't see anything about this anywhere, so I might make like a little, I guess, post about it and post it somewhere. We'll see. But hopefully this gives some people some insight, and I would love for you guys to comment, message me anything you want to know, any other suggestions that you guys want to see, talk about. If you guys want some more information on this stuff, I would totally love to do that for you guys. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And namaste. I would do it with 2 hands, but my other hand's holding my phone. But anyways, namaste. Good energy. Goodbye, guys.